Howdy, folks. Kevin here. Welcome to 2023. I'm hoping 2023 has been better. Will be better than the last couple of years. I don't have high hopes for that, but I hope. Let's see. What do we got going here? I'm going to have a mini Leather Rose by Deadwood. And we're going to have some Green River whiskey. The box on this one, when it was given to me for Christmas, said to Grandpa from my granddaughter down in Florida. Apparently my 1-year-old can buy whiskey down there. I was unaware. Oh, man. Not much to report. I'm going to do a year opening report for the channel. Subscriber growth and all that kind of stuff. So we won't talk about much of that here. Anyhow. I want to talk about leveling the playing field. You know, making everything fair by lowering of standards, which is what we do nowadays. We just lower the standards. All that climate change not working out for you? No problem. We'll just adjust the numbers so we get it to fall in line to more of what we want. More of what will fit the narrative. Not enough folks getting into college? No problem. We'll just lower the standards so we can get more people in. Not enough people passing the tests in your high school and elementary school and junior high and all that kind of stuff? No problem. We'll just lower the minimum required grades for this stuff. You know, grade on the curve, because, you know, if most people get an 80, we'll just make that 100 now. That way the people who got an 80, we'll just say they got 100. Folks who got a 60, we'll say they got an 80. Folks who got a 40, we'll say they got a 60. You know, much fairer that way. Much fairer. Back when I was going to school, you either passed or you didn't. Of course, back then they actually expected you to learn this stuff. And if you didn't, you might get held back. You might have to repeat a year. But that's not fair. It's not fair that you don't get to pass with the rest of your class just because you didn't perform. I mean, what the hell? Let's apply that to everything. You know, I don't make as much money as a brain surgeon. And I didn't go to medical school or anything like that. But that should be really no reason why I can't be a brain surgeon. Right? I mean, what the hell? It's not fair that I can't pass law school and I still can't be a lawyer. That's not fair. Not fair at all. You can tell how much we've lowered the standards by dealing with folks. I've got an old Chevy pickup truck. Some of you know that. I had a problem with the four-wheel drive selector switch going out. And I replaced the thing like 5 times. And the first time I took it into a auto parts place and had them put it on the machine. And it said that the switch was bad. So I replaced the switch. 2 weeks later, switch is out again. This time I took it to a dealer. They said the switch was bad, according to their computer. Now they sold me another switch, a GM original parts switch, for 3 times what I paid for the off-brand part. It lasted a couple of weeks. Went out again. Took it to the same dealer and I said, hey, a switch went back out. So they put it back on the computer. Computer said, switch is bad. And at this particular point, I'm getting aggravated. This goes into low owner standards. I mean, all these mechanics are believing the computer. And I said, well, there's got to be a reason the switch is going out. This is the 3rd time it's being replaced. And they said, nope, switch is bad. That's the only thing that's wrong. I said, well, something's burning that switch up because, like I said, this is the 3rd one. And took it in to another dealer. Didn't let them replace it. And took it to another dealer. Same thing. Put it on a computer. The little diagnostic computer said, switch is bad. I said, well, what else is bad? Something's making the switch go bad. What is it? You know, we don't know. The computer just says replace the switch. And I said, the switch has been replaced multiple times. So I went home. Didn't really let them replace it. So I ordered a switch online and replaced it myself. Now, I ordered this one from a aftermarket place. It was not a genuine GM part. But what was funny about it, I bought it for $55 when the GM part was $155, I think, if I remember right. It's been a few years. And the box came to me, and inside the box was a GM installation procedure. And it said GM original part, although it wasn't a GM box. So these things are coming out of the same factory. It had a sticker on it with a part number on it. I peeled the sticker off. Underneath that is the stenciled GM part number. So I replaced it. Went out again. So I said, screw it. Don't need 4-wheel drive. And I bought another switch, but I didn't put it in. Now, about this time, I was having some transmission trouble. It's an old truck with a lot of miles on it. So I took it to an old school mechanic, and I said, hey, how much to get my transmission rebuilt? And he quoted me a price. And I said, okay, I'll bring you the truck. Now, he replaced it, or rebuilt the tranny for me, and he called me when he got it tore apart, and he says, your transfer case is shot too. It needs to be rebuilt too. And I said, well, how much is that going to cost? He quoted me a price. Wasn't bad. So, all in all, rebuilding the transfer case and the transmission was less than buying an aftermarket transmission and putting in it, which everybody told me I had to do. Well, we don't rebuild transmissions anymore. We'll just get you a new one. Didn't make sense, but what the hell? Now, I asked the guy after he told me the transfer case was bad. I said, what? 4-wheel drive selector switch has been going out a lot. He goes, well, that's what's causing it. He goes, contacts in that transfer case. He goes, it's all wore out. That's what's burning that switch up. I said, well, there's another switch in the glove box. Now, this has been 2 or 3 years, maybe 4. Now, he rebuilt the transmission and transfer case, put that new switch in, the $55 switch from overseas, and I haven't had any trouble yet. That's what I'm talking about, lowering the standards. These guys aren't mechanics anymore. Lawyers aren't lawyers anymore. Doctors aren't doctors anymore. Weathermen aren't weathermen anymore. So on and so forth. Nobody performs to the standards of the old school stuff. But this guy, old school mechanic, figured out exactly what was wrong and fixed it instead of plugging it into the computer with the computer going, switch is bad, replace the switch. That's all I'm saying. Leveling the playing field through the lowering of standards. It's actually pretty good bourbon. I'll show you guys the bottle. It's a keeper. I'll keep that. Well, this is the first one of 2023. I don't know if lowering of standards is going to be a theme, but it could be, because there's plenty out there to talk about. Hope you all had a good New Year's. Hope you had a good Christmas. Looking forward to this year. I hope it's better. I'm not holding my breath, though. Talk to you all later. See you in the woods. Y'all take care.